Hello, my fellow seekers. Suddenly Seeking Spirit is a podcast that is intended to educate, inspire, and entertain you on your personal journey toward health and happiness. The information, advice, and opinions expressed are of our own and not intended to replace care best provided by qualified professionals, and it is not a substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Enjoy the show.
Everybody, welcome back to the Suddenly Seeking Spirit podcast. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Andrew.
And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about crystals and how they can help us in our lives. And also, we're going to learn more about the motherfucking chakras.
Get that motherfucking chakras.
I'm sorry, people. This is our third time starting this, but we're just going to keep going.
Trying our best here. It's one of those days.
It is one of those days. So I'm not too familiar with crystals and chakras, but I do carry a crystal with me all the time because why the fuck not?
Yes.
Yes. And I'm sorry for so much swearing in this episode, so put your children away.
I mean, no, don't say you guys weren't warned. It says explicit on the podcast.
That's true. And Andrew and I have had a lot of caffeine, and apparently it makes us say the F word. Sorry.
Yeah, the F-bomb's going to be dropped. So my experience in crystals is I'm technically a certified crystal healer. Now, you do not need to be certified to practice crystal healing on yourself or others. I just felt as if it was a need specifically for me and what I wanted to do because I'm a Virgo. I really like to be analytical and I like to know as much about one certain topic as I can. And I like to decipher through that information for myself. So I did a 4-week training. It was all based online and I liked it as well because of structure. I like structure in my learning. And aside from me having to go out and compile it myself. Right?
I'm the opposite. I'm all about compiling it myself. No structure.
Yeah. See, I get lost. I like the beginning stages of that, but then I get lost in it.
Okay.
It's hard for me to rein myself in. Then I start going down every avenue, you know?
Right. I do know.
Yeah. This is why we work well together.
Ditto. Okay. So I don't know where to start, but I wanted to tell you that I do carry a rose quartz with me because I was told that it helps with love and relationships and that love and relationship with myself. So I started carrying it with me and I just like holding it in my hand when I'm meditating.
Yes.
Like, why not? Right.
Yeah.
But what is the energy behind it or whatever?
So the way that I practice is, this is why we do the crystal and chakra together, is because the way I practice is they correlate with each other, and that's how I do my layouts on people. So real quick, I'll take you guys to the reasoning behind crystal healing. What's the thought behind it and why is it a healing modality? So crystals have what is called a perfect crystalline structure when you look at it under a microscope. So it's sacred geometry inside of crystals. And they always have this perfect structure to them. And they're specific to the type of crystal as well. So if you think of quartz crystal, most people know what quartz crystal is. It's that clear crystal. Some people just think it's a clear rock. Quartz is inside of clocks because it's a conductor of electricity. So that on the base level shows you that crystals can conduct energy. And it's not just aside from battery energy.
I just had a blonde moment.
What were you thinking?
Well, there's that Quartz. Isn't that like a watch company? Quartz?
It might be. Yeah, it might be. But there's also like a lot of watches, different brands, like it will be a quartz, like it will say quartz on it. And it's just saying.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. So especially like older watches too, but it's still heavily used. Radios, radio transmitters, they would use it as well. I think some use diamonds now, diamonds as well. But yeah, so they conduct energy, and this is a scientific proven thing. Okay. There's also frequency behind them that is scientifically proven. So each crystal has a frequency. So the belief is that when we match the certain crystals based on a chakra system, or 7 main chakras, and behind the chakra system is colors to help us figure out our way through our chakra system. We talk about, let's see here. When we talk about using the crystals with the chakras, we're going off of the color of the crystal with the color of the chakra.
Okay.
So that's a base level you can do.
Should we talk about what the chakras are?
Yeah, okay. That's what I was trying to think. I was trying to create a structure in my head as we're going. Because we don't do outlines, people. We just go.
We're flowing.
Yes, we free flow. So, wait, what was your question?
Oh my goodness. And everybody just shut this off. No, I'm just kidding. No, so maybe go through what the chakras are.
Yeah. So when we begin going through the chakra system, we begin with our first chakra, the base chakra, which is called your root chakra. So this is just outside of the physical body. It would be in your astral body, which is just the energy field around you. Say.
Okay.
This is correlated with the color red or even black. Your root chakra, you think of root, that is roots of a tree. That is what grounds you and holds you down, keeps you rooted in your belief system and the way that you live your life. So that is a common one that is usually out of alignment for people when you're doing an assessment on somebody. Up above that, we have our sacral chakra. So that is just like where the reproductive system is where that chakra kind of lies. Chakras are also, real quick, chakras are energy vortex, energy centers within the body. And there's more than 7, but these are the 7 main ones. Okay. Sacral is your, it would be like your fierceness, it could go with like your sexuality, I'm trying to find the word for it, like vigor, right? Like that type of stuff. Yeah. Passion, it's your passion center.
Aggression.
Yes, that can also be in there. So that tends to be on when it's out of alignment, you get into that aggressiveness. And then above that is it's called the solar plexus or navel chakra. So it's just below the belly button. Okay. That is a yellow. I don't know if I said with the sacral, and color wise, it's orange.
Oh, okay.
So we go red, orange, yellow. So yellow is solar plexus or navel. That is your willpower. It's your gut reaction to things. That also, I believe, just from my experience as well, there also is some intuition in that because you think of that gut feeling. So that's in there as well. Up above from that is the Anahata chakra, which is the heart chakra. So that is reflected color-wise in green and pink. So those would be your green and pink crystals. Not saying that all green and pink crystals are solely for that, but that is your unconditional love center for yourself, for others. Yeah. And then you move up into the throat chakra, which is in the throat region. That is a blue, like a light blue color. That is creative expression, just expression across the board. And then we move up to the third eye chakra, which is between the eyebrows. A really good practice that you can use for the third eye chakra and just believing that it's there is when you close your eyes, and if you kind of roll your eyes up like as if you're looking up at it, you'll feel that sensation of that pulling. And when you're in like a breathing exercise or meditation doing that, a lot of times you'll feel like almost like a pop, and it opens it up. I feel it every single time. It's crazy.
I thought that was a stroke I was having.
No, it's not a stroke. You're working on the chakra.
Just joking.
Who would have thought working on a chakra would make you think you had a stroke? And then above the third eye chakra, then we go to the crown chakra, which is like the crown of the head, just hovering above it. that is your connection to the divine or higher power. That's where you can get like downloads of information that may not be within you, getting from your guides type of thing. So the way that we figure out if chakras are blocked, say a blocked chakra, reasons why our chakras become blocked are because of our environment that we put ourselves in, the environment that we create internally for ourselves, and just our mental and emotional state as well. So that's why we always say like a proper way of like life, and the way to find true contentment and happiness is to have the connection of the mind, body, and spirit. Is because you want those chakras in alignment, because there is a belief that the Kundalini is the serpent that comes up from the base of the spine and through the chakras, and there's energy, they're called nadis, energy tubes that go up through and they all connect. So when they're out of alignment, you're going to feel out of alignment in your life, and it manifests in different ways depending on the chakra. But the way that we find out, though, if I'm doing a session with somebody, say, would be just scanning over, being attuned to energy and feeling energy over somebody's body, or through their symptoms of what, not physical ailment, but as in like things that are bothering them in their life emotionally or mentally. That you take that into account as well. But really, you're just going intuitively and feeling. And then you begin placing certain crystals specifically to where they might need to go for that person.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's just the base of that.
Okay. Do you want to hear something cool? Let's see if I can remember it. When I was at Spirit Junkie level 2 this year, when you weren't there, there was a lady, I can't remember her name because, that's how I quote things, but she was a chakra expert. And the only thing I remember of what she was saying, because it was a little over my head, shocking, but she was saying, and I really related to this part of it, and let's see if you can too. She's saying that when people are learning about they're having their spiritual awakening, that they're downloading that information from the crown chakra, not necessarily the heart. So it's coming down the back of us, so we can feel like we're floating, and we need to get rooted. And she was telling us that because we were all getting up and doing our inspirational talks and things. And so she did this exercise with us to ground us. It worked when I was there, but I don't remember what she did. But I just thought that was really interesting because, when you're learning information, I actually get headaches. Well, the rest of Spirit Junkie, I wore my hat that I'm wearing today. And it helped.
Like block it.
My headache went away. Yeah, my headache went away. It was weird.
That's 100% correct. Because you will find yourself, like, if you're getting a lot of downloads, you're open is what it is. Opened up that chakra enough to where you're allowing the information to really go into the physical mind. And you do have to ground yourself, because you will find yourself going a little crazy or antsy. And that's why also in yoga, we begin to practice by just simply being still. And whether we're doing a breathing exercise or meditation first, that is the whole reasoning behind that. You want to give yourself time to ground down, flow through, feel connected. When you want to feel connected to the body, what it is. You don't want to be out in the clouds for too long.
It's almost like, because when you're new to your spiritual awakening, people we talk about it like a pink cloud. You feel like at the beginning, can you relate to that, Andrew? Like in the beginning, you're just like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And you see this whole aspect.
Holy shit, I've got the answers now.
I didn't even know this was part of life. And you feel like your energy's a mess. You're like, you're all over the place. So I find that I feel like that a little bit right now because I've had too much caffeine.
Well, you can also think of it though too as like an excited child. It's that inner child gets to be brought out, which is amazing. But then we also have to like keep it at bay at some point, because you can't allow your inner child to just go crazy.
Well, it's like when we get on a Zoom call with another Spirit Junkie.
Oh yeah.
We have to meditate before we start the podcast, because we're all like, wah!
It would be way too much for people. It'd be like our butter tart episode all over again.
Yes. Oh boy.
But yeah, so grounding yourself is in that root chakra as well.
Okay.
So the ways that you could I don't know, say you as a listener, you might feel, okay, I know a little bit about chakras, but how do I know which chakra is not aligned or doesn't feel well? So an exercise that you could do on yourself would be to, if you want to lay down or sit, whatever you're most comfortable in, but allowing your hand to go up above where those certain chakras specifically might be, and be making sure that you're in a space that's like completely quiet, you're feeling comfortable there, and just feel like you'll begin to feel the heat building up in the hand, between the hand and the body, because you're in the astral body. And this may sound really weird to people, but
okay.
Welcome to our podcast. So you're just hovering over these certain chakra centers, and you'll feel a discomfort almost, is how I explain it and what I feel. And you'll have maybe some negative thoughts pop up when you're over that certain one. So that can be a way of determining that is specifically off. Or there's also ways of symptoms in your life. Like we were saying with aggressiveness, if you're acting aggressive or jumping to anger first, that might tell you that your sacral or your heart chakra. And they both could be.
Your throat chakra too, if you're not expressing yourself.
Oh yeah, because then you're holding anger in, and yeah, so it can, and there's varying degrees of which ones it could go in. They could all be off as well.
Right.
So a way that you could also, if you're checking in with yourself, figuring out, okay, maybe this one's a little off, and then working on that, a way to build it back up, get it back into alignment, is to do a simple visualization of those chakras specifically in their color, and almost envisioning the going counterclockwise. So you're unwinding any damage that may be in that chakra region. And then when you're feeling comfortable about it, you feel a lightness in that area, or just a lightness in your mind about it, then you begin to envision that going clockwise and winding back up and locking in that good energy. So you're cleansing it by going counterclockwise, and then so that's a simple practice of chakra way of doing it. But
and what if they want to buy their first crystal?
Yeah.
How would they know what to get?
Yeah. So this is another thing. It's going to sound weird to some people, but you just go in intuitively and do it. Don't allow, you can listen to, so if you're at a store, like your local store, listen to some of the advice that they might be giving you, but you want to find the true connection yourself. So that's just going over crystals. You could go into a bucket of crystals that are all the same. Say they're all a quartz crystal. They're all the same, but you still just put your hand over, sift through, you can close your eyes, and you're going to grab the one that you're always going to need. It's just the way it always works. The crystals, there's a belief that the crystals are there to serve you. And when they're no longer serving you anymore, you tend to lose them, which I lose crystals all the time. And then they'll pop back up when you need them back in your life. It's weird. It really
I
is.
also give them away a lot.
Yeah, and gifting them is a really good thing too. You just always want to make sure that if you don't do it for the person, you tell the person that it definitely needs cleansed before, because the way these crystals work are with the frequency and the energy, and their conductor of energy, right? So they also take on your energy. So they're cleansing you by pulling some negative energy and giving you positive energy. It's almost like a filter. It's like a filtration system. It's like a natural filtration system of your energy that you're carrying around you. So you just want to make sure that you're not giving somebody a crystal that may have yucky energy from your past on it. And it's also a belief that I don't like to do it unless it's like somebody that I'm close to on a spiritual level, like you, Andrew. I let you touch the crystals that I brought up.
Oh, you let me touch your crystals?
Yes, I let you touch the crystals. That's a true sign of love and trust. But you don't want to just be letting everybody touch your crystals, Can't be letting people touch your crystals out there.
No. And they should ask first before they touch your crystals.
Yes. consent on touching crystals, okay? Crystal
Um,
consent.
I was just going to say, for the skeptics out there, this is my
Mhm.
practical advice.
Yes.
So, especially if your loony friend Andrea gives you something. But like, let's say, like, if somebody does give you a crystal, carry it with you, because you don't know if it works or not, maybe, but
Mhm.
that person gave that to you with love, and you
Mhm.
can use it as an anchor to think about that relationship with that person who gave you that crystal.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
So in
really
a
good way.
practical way.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like most people are a believer in the power of intention. And even if they
Mm-hmm.
don't wrap their mind completely around it, there's still intention is what creates our
Mm-hmm.
thoughts and our actions, right? So
Yeah.
having somebody gives you something with a good intention and you feel that you're feeling that intention, whether you choose to believe it or not,
Yeah.
that's an energy exchange.
For
So
sure.
taking that good energy with you, that is only going to help you. And
Yeah.
then if you start feeling that and feeling a little connected to it, then you can allow yourself to learn a little
Mm.
bit more.
Yeah.
There's science to it, as well as there is some mystical woo-woo stuff to it as well. But my belief is crystals, and I mean, the way I've been living with them has never brought any negative experience into my life.
Right.
So
Right. I love, we haven't quoted Wayne Dyer
I
yet.
know.
There's this a quote by him. He said, if somebody told me that crystals were going to heal my hemorrhoids, I'm buying
Yeah.
crystal chairs.
Yeah. I remember that.
So, I think that's when I really started liking him, when he said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true,
Like,
though. I
why
mean, yeah, there's no harm, no foul
not?
in
No.
crystals, you know.
Because some people are very afraid of anything that's new and different.
Mhm.
But
I
like,
also I think a lot of people have been turned off as well. I know for a little bit I had a certain feeling about it, and I mean, all of this stuff is very popular now,
yeah,
which is great. It is great because it gets out more, no
right.
matter how people want to take it. But there is a negative side to all of this stuff that is happening, because there is fake spiritualists, there's fake things
Oh,
happening around this stuff as well. You have people that are in it for profit. There's
right.
people turning crystals out like crazy, selling them for crazy amounts because they're big on Instagram or they're big on social media, and that's just, it's a business to them.
Okay.
So feeling what feels right for you and following the people that you feel connected with to gain more information about that is what that's the main piece of advice I would give somebody if they really want to learn more about crystals.
Okay.
Finding somebody, like connection with somebody that isn't opportunistic, I
A
guess.
charlatan.
Yes, a charlatan. That's exactly what it is. Don't be buying the snake oils and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
This whole industry, you have to be mindful of that.
yeah.
You
And
really have to
there's
follow your intuition.
yeah, there's negative and positive in every
Mm-hmm.
industry out there, but yeah, it's just being able to ground down first,
Yeah.
move down through the root chakra, and then you'll be able to figure out where you need to go.
Yeah. And be your own guru, right?
Exactly. Yes. And that's what we really do, Andrea, is we start to get like turned on by a spiritual topic or something of the sort, or self-help, right?
Right.
And then we start to learn a little bit, and then we find somebody that, like Gabby or
Yeah.
Wayne, or somebody that we like, or like, oh wow, they're kind of giving me this information in a nice, clear way that
Yeah.
feels good to me.
Yeah.
And then we start pulling information and grabbing more information from other
Right.
venues.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's just everything. And just like the disclaimer at the beginning of all of our episodes, we're just telling you guys what we know.
Yeah.
And what we do, and take what you need and leave the rest behind.
Yes. Do not, this is our lives and our specific experiences that we're having, but we know that the positive experiences we're having, we're sharing with you, because we know it's got to bring some positivity.
For sure. I don't think, do we have anything else to say on this topic?
No, because I mean, just like with most of our topics, we could go forever on because there's so much information, but I think this was a good enough crash course for people. I would say, yeah, if you're buying your first crystal, to go into it intuitively. Don't let somebody sell you a crystal, like specifically, like they're making you purchase that one crystal.
Right.
And really, honestly, I think what everybody should do if they are intrigued in it, then maybe just buy 7 main crystals that go with the chakra system.
And they don't have to be huge, right?
No, no, they could be tiny little pocket ones. That's probably better for you just beginning. A lot of people will get small little tumbled ones and for each of the chakras, and then they'll do like a little bag, put it in their purse, and just have it near them at all times. And that's a good way to begin starting with crystals.
Yeah, and I just like to meditate holding one.
There's also a really good book called Crystals for Healing. And it goes through like all the main crystals. It talks about chakras. It talks about the correlation between and how you work with them. It's a really good one. So I'll drop a link in that as well. You know
who it's by or no?
It is by, I got it underneath here. It's by Karen Frazier.
Okay.
Crystals for Healing. It's Remedies for Mind, Heart, and Soul, the Complete Reference Guide.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's a good place for people to start.
Yeah, it's a very good one.
Yeah, excellent.
It's my favorite crystal book out of the many that I purchased in my my beginning stages.
And the beginning of our relationship, Andrew read my. What was it called? You did a whole reading for me.
What I did was a color energy reading. So one of my friends, Bernardo Charles, also known as the Color Mage, he created an oracle deck. It's a color oracle deck, and it's like 108 cards of all these different colors, and they have like their word cues on them. But when I was reading with them, I would do like it's basically like a chakra energy reading. So the colors that were coming up were honing us into specific chakras, whether they were overactive, they were working just fine, or not working. So then after, what I would do is I would give you that color reading with those cards, and then I was giving you advice on crystals that you could use to help you with your chakras.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Yeah. And
everything was accurate, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And Andrew's been getting migraines ever since.
Like that.
When I do.
Once we connected, geez. Oh my gosh. It's like a straight energy tube right to me every day.
We'll have to do some cord cutting.
Yeah, when one's out of whack, the other one is.
Yeah, yeah.
So I cut cords all the time and meditations and stuff, but that's the one that just won't. I'm going to call upon, what's his name? Michael? St. Michael.
Yeah.
Bring a sword out and cut it.
That's a good topic, actually, cord cutting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is a good topic.
Stay tuned for cord cutting.
Yes, stay tuned. All right. Well, thank you guys all for listening. And if you want more information, you can always contact us at suddenlyseekingspirit@gmail.com. You can ask Andrew, our resident chakra crystal knowledge guy.
Yeah. And also, if there's any other topics out there that maybe we haven't covered, or we've just have popped up in some of our episodes that you want us to expand on, or we're totally open for suggestions in that. And also too, I think it would help us in learning even more. So
yes, absolutely. There's so many topics out there
that's what we're here for.
Talked about. Yes.
We like to learn. As we provide information, we continue to learn.
We provide our version of information.
Yes, our interpretation of the information.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Suddenly Seeking Spirits podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard, then follow us on Spotify, iTunes, or anywhere that you listen to your podcasts. You can also follow us at Suddenly Seeking Spirit on Instagram. Till next time, what has you seeking spirit?